to another new car video. So I'm sitting in a 2014 Fiesta ST, which has been remapped already. The advert said it was about 230 horsepower. It's a stage something 2. I don't know what the stages are. I don't know why people call them stage, but I'd just say it's better to just say it's a 230 horsepower Fiesta. So this is a 230 horsepower Fiesta ST, Mark 7.5 I think they call it. And this is my replacement for my Honda Jazz. If anybody's watched the channel before, I had a case swapped Honda Jazz, which was a project that came to the end basically because I didn't have a car to play around with because that was my daily driver. This will be quite simple to modify, hopefully. It should do well for bolt-on mods. I believe it's already got some anyway, but I should be able to do stuff like change the turbo, and I can flash it at home using a laptop. Don't need to go anywhere. So those are the plans. We're going to look at modifying this considerably. So I say considerably. We're going to basically double the original power with a bit of luck, because these are an ST 180, and I'm going to aim for around about 340 to 360 horsepower. Hopefully, that's the plan. But yeah, as we're sat now in a 50 zone doing 50, because everyone's just doing 50. Sorry, it's a 60 zone and people are just doing 50. I don't know why, but it's a huge queue of traffic. But anyway, so I bought this car from a company down in Peterborough. I took the train down and just basically picked it up and took a gamble. They sent me videos and various pictures and had conversations about it for a few days, and all the ones locally to me were actually more expensive than this slightly, and they were in a lot worse condition than this. So I decided I'd take the train out of Peterborough and buy this car. I drove 260 odd miles, I think it was roughly, or 270 miles on the way back, and the car drove brilliantly. It was dead comfy, seriously comfy. It's not even loud. I don't know if you can hear the outside of the car. You probably can't. The tyres are actually a bit louder than the car is. So in terms of comfort, this car is really good. It is lowered. I don't know how much on what by. We'll have a look in a minute. We'll have a look through the wheels, see if we can spot shock absorbers and stuff. But it is lowered. The front is really low. The back's a little bit higher up. But it doesn't drive badly for that. It actually drives okay. A little bit bouncy, but like as in not horrendous. It's probably no worse than like cars I've had in the past, so that's a good thing. And of course, being a Fiesta, it does have a slight pop and bang map on it, which we'll go into a bit more later, hopefully, when the car's warmed up. Bang! Fair does motor on. Quite quick actually. I wouldn't have said. I think the Jazz is probably faster. It does do pop and bangs. We'll do a bit more in a second once this wagon gets out of the way. Yeah. The one thing about the pop and bang map on this, whatever map, I don't even know what the tune is or who's done it or what file it is. I don't know anything about it. But the pop and bang map, it's only actually really high up the revs as well. So if you drive along normally, it's not doing anything, it's just driving along, which I think is ideal, because it just means I can potter about and it's not a problem to anybody. But if you see if it does it this time, you have to be quite high up. In a second, there you go, high up and flat out on the throttle. If you part throttle, it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it at all, so that's really good. It does it if you're high up with revs. Brakes are really good as well actually. But anyway, let's we'll stop it here. There you have it, Fiesta ST. It's already dirty. I honestly just washed it. It's dirty already because it's white. But anyway, so it's got bowler wheels. People aren't a massive fan of bowler wheels. I'm not the biggest fan of them, but they're on it, so they're staying on it for now. They actually have quite good brake clearance as well, I noticed, so you can fit decent calipers under there actually, which is something that it's worth considering in the future. They've got obviously go faster painted red calipers. It came with Pirelli tyres all around, which is decent. Sometimes you buy a car and people have fitted rubbish tyres to it, and it says more about how the car's been looked after as well, because they just don't care.
If people fit decent tyres to a car, I think it's quite a good sign. It's obviously had rear brakes replaced at some point as well recently, because both back calipers are silver, whereas the carriers are red, so they've been painted previously. If you can look through there, I don't know if you can see them, it's got yellow lowering springs of some description. Don't know if I can see what shock absorbers it's got. They may just be standard ones, I'm not sure. That's probably why it's a bit bumpy. And it has an exhaust, I believe, but there doesn't seem to be anything on it, so I'm not sure if that's a standard back box or not. I'd have to get under it to see. It's got Maxton Designs rear splitter, which is cool because it gives itself like you know, like the fake looking, what they're called, diffuser look, which is kind of cool actually. It's also been de-wipered on the back, which I'm not too happy about. I might put a wiper back on it, we'll see. And then on the inside, it's just got the grey and black Recaros, nothing too fancy. Light up ST sill plate. This side doesn't seem to be working. It's a really common fault apparently. You can get replacement ones, they're really expensive. You get copy ones from China, I believe, which are a hell of a lot more cheaper, so I'll probably just do that. But in all honesty, it's not going to bother me that much, I don't really care about that. But yeah, so it's done 82,000 miles, which is not bad at all. And it's basically, it's just a Fiesta ST spec inside, there's nothing fancy about it. Someone's put a little blanking thing in there, because that's like a stupid cubby hole. I've seen parts of these all over the internet. And the gear knob's a bit worn, so something I need to replace. Oh, it's also got a weird, it's got a sun strip which says down low Nankang tyres, even though there's Pirelli's on it, so a bit strange. But anyway, so how do we open the bonnet of this car? Is that it? That's it there. Let's have a look. Right, so it is quite clean under here. Someone's taken time to give it a spruce up at some point, but it does have a what appears to be induction kit down here. Excuse me. So it's got, it says Perrin on it, and that heads down into there somewhere. Not sure how that's getting any air into it, but I need to have a look at that properly. Can't even see where that goes to, so that's interesting. And the rest of it just appears to be standard looking anyway to me. So I believe there's a pipe you can get here, a crossover pipe which is larger in diameter. It's something I'm going to look into, which then would join onto that, but I've no idea where that air filter is going to. Also, this should have a larger intercooler on it, which you may be able to see. It's down there, I think it says Air Tech on it or something. Doesn't look to be the biggest. Yeah, it does say Air Tech. I think it comes to around about there, just underneath the number plate, so it's something I may need to upgrade for future performances. But yeah, I'm a bit confused as to where that air filter's going and what it's doing. I need to actually find that. One thing I'll say about Ford is, in this design, is, you see, you've got your bumper on an angle there, and you've got this lip here, which is always proud of that bumper. So your bonnet edge there is always going to get stone chipped right on that bit there. See, it's got 1, 2, it's got a third one on there. It's always going to happen. The wife's Focus is exactly the same. It's got nothing other than, it's just going to straight away hit on that edge there. Always the way. Can't do anything about that. I'm not into car design, I don't know a lot about it, so shouldn't really talk much about it. Cool ST badge, but yeah, I mean, what is that filter doing? Because there's nothing, there's no air can get through there. So where actually is it? I'm not sure I like that. That's something I might change. I actually don't like that at all. Definitely something to look into. Oh yeah, bumper sag on these is really common. They all drop around the headlights for some reason. I'll look into fixing that. There is fixes on the internet. I'll see if I can sort that. But yeah, otherwise it's a decent looking little standard car. That's not standard, it's got an ST badge that they don't come with on there, but otherwise it's decent. Tinted windows. Oh, and also a little Maxton spoiler on the roof. That's cool. Right, let's go and do some more driving. Oh yeah, so additional extras that the car comes with is also, it comes with tyre pressure warning, monitor system inactive, because I'm guessing it doesn't have the tyre pressure monitors, the little valve things in it, or maybe they do, the batteries have run out, and that's quite common as well. But either way, that doesn't work. And it also comes with a bonus free edition ECU light on because of a decat. That's something I can fix dead easy. I'll just put like a little spacer in the between the lambda and the actual downpipe. That should cost about 5 or 6 quid to get that off, and that's that. The rest of it inside is just decent. I didn't get an ST3, I got an ST2. Mostly because I didn't want keyless entry, because keyless entry is dead easy to steal, whereas this isn't. So it doesn't have sat nav, but in honesty, that screen's tiny.
I'm not convinced how good the sat-nav would have been. So what I'll do is I'll just use sat-nav on my phone if I need to. You can buy little mounts that clip in here for your phone, so that's probably what I'll do, get a tiny little phone mount. But the rest of it is really nice. The inside's pretty good. These seats are really comfy. I did just read that someone said the back of the car is one of the most uncomfortable bits of a car they've ever sat in any car ever of cars that they've ever sat in. I don't intend to sit in the back, so I don't really care. But yeah, so it says 160 on the speedo. One day we'll find out. I don't think it'll do that. But the rest of it is spot on, and honestly the fuel consumption for a small little performance car, 1.6 turbo, is phenomenal. I'm really impressed by it. Can't believe at one point I was at 43 or 44 miles per gallon when I was on the way home, and that was like, you know, driving along. It wasn't exactly like hoofing it, but just steady driving. It was really good. So yeah, so this is the inside of the car. I'm quite happy with it. I think it's decent. It's a decent little car. It'll be a good project. But yeah, let's go do some driving. Let's sport mode they call it. Let's put it in sport mode. It wheel spins a little bit actually. Let's give it some wheel spins as we set off. Let's go. Pop and bang. Honestly, it doesn't go that bad. I'm quite surprised by it. I mean, I didn't expect it to be slow, but I didn't expect it to be relatively as nippy as it is. Very impressed. Brakes are bloody good as well. Tell it's only a little turbo because it really starts to run out of puff at about 6,000. I didn't expect it to be a gigantic turbo. As far as I know, it's the standard turbo on the car, which is plenty. It does all right. It starts to die off just about 6. So it needs a bigger one. Everything needs a bigger turbo. More boost is good. Yeah, 230 horsepower, it goes okay. I mean, if anybody's watching this that owns a remapped stage 2 or 3 Fiesta, whatever you want, you know, let me know if you think it's doing all right. Obviously I'm going to take it to a dyno at some point and see what power it actually does make, but drives all right. It does actually drive really nice. It is a little bit low, but it does drive nice. And it's white, so it's going to be dirty in 30 seconds flat in winter time. Smart one. Don't buy a white car, it's a bad idea. Anyway, let's go and take a bit more of a drive. I'll definitely do a draggy test on it, but I'm in 4th gear, it pulls like fuck. It's actually really good. Very surprised for the little engine. Love it. Also, I mean, a strange observation perhaps, but I don't know what exhaust system it has, like I was saying before, but it's really quiet, like as in, it's really quiet. So if this is a decent enough size for what I'm looking for in the future, the bore size and stuff, I'd quite happily have it sounding exactly like this and no more, because this is perfect for me. It sounds decent, a little bit throaty out the back, does its little pops and bangs, but it isn't obnoxious. And to be honest with you, I don't really want an obnoxious sounding exhaust at this moment in time. I'm quite happy not having an obnoxious exhaust. on a B road. Handling is superb, actually, genuinely superb. Yeah, wow. I think once I get used to this car, it'll be brilliant. It's not as fast as the Jazz. I don't think it is. The Jazz just seemed to be faster. I don't know if it's because you're revving to like 8.5 on, but the Jazz just seemed to go better when you're up at the top end of the revs. This has got it all low down, I suppose. That's the difference. You'll have a fair bit more torque out of this than the Jazz. Should be around, I don't know, probably about 200 pound per foot torque. I think it's a similar sort of power, but it weighs a bit heavier and it doesn't have the revs. And well, I don't know. The steering in the Jazz felt decent. I think this actually this steering in this feels a lot better than what the Jazz did, but the handling, I don't know, it's 50-50. I'd have to have had a good test side by side because the Jazz was bloody phenomenal. But you know what, I genuinely do like this. Great car.